a Nirvana shirt that was made. So
right?
I'm rocking with it.
Thank you. I did this one, of course. Shout out to me. You know, no, I just playing. No, but for real.
Play, shout yourself out.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
But so you created, meaning that you did all that yourself?
Yeah, so the shirt, I get shirts and I just customize them. So I'll pull the colors out. So this one had some like orange and red, and then so I personalize them. I'm like, okay, I think I want to do some red in it, and then I was like, oh, let me brighten it up some. So this one I like to do it just randomly.
Okay.
It's like to put my music on, get in my feels, and then just create. So
with that shirt, did you use bleach? Or do you do it at your house, or do you have a office somewhere that you do this at?
I do it at my home right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to give all my trade secrets away.
Don't do it.
But, I make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
He like you said.
Yeah, bro. I sweir. It was a year I had every different kind.
Nirvana
Long
is the
sleeves.
shit.
I didn't know who they was until. Oh, you can say whatever you want.
Oh, for real?
No, I'm just playing.
Well, yeah, that's dope.
Thank you.
I did see that I called it Jodeci vest, the 90s vest.
Yeah, I seen the
you had
vest
on
on
there.
Man, that vest goes hard to me.
It do.
It makes me think, yes, Jodeci,
Yeah.
Tupac,
Yeah.
Man. I feel that I'm also a licensed esthetician.
Okay.
So that's what I've been doing for most of my adult life as my career.
I'm not going to lie. I don't know what that is.
Oh, a skincare specialist.
Okay, all right,
yeah,
all
so waxing, brows,
Okay.
makeup.
Oh,
also.
yeah. We had somebody else coming on that does that, too.
Oh, dope,
know
yes.
that you
Shout
did
out to
that
all
as
the
well.
estheticians out there.
I didn't know you. I mean, shout yourself out.
Yes. Well, this is what the deal is with me. So I feel I'm definitely an esthetician, and I love being an esthetician. But I feel like it's time for me to focus on my passion, which is fashion.
Okay.
And I am always going to come back to it because, I want to create a skincare line. There's so many things within that I want to do that I haven't tapped into yet. But right now I'm focusing on being creative because this is what brings me the most joy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Thank you.
So for the esthetician, do you do that for income, or what's your occupation besides your business?
I'm a hustler.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yes, I'm a hustler. So I do my clothing. I sell vintage. I work as a virtual assistant online sometimes. I mean, I just feel like there's so many different streams of income that you can, acquire if you just put your mind to it. Sometimes you might be driving for Postmates, whatever it is. But I'm a mom. I am a provider, and that's what I'm going to do. So, if I'm being an esthetician this week, I'm being an esthetician. I'm going to be good at it, too.
The reason why I asked that question, because a lot of people who do creativity, they tend to lose focus and track of what they really want to do, and then they go get a 9-to-5, and then it stops them from doing what they're doing. So that's why I was asking, what is your occupation besides this? Because we got a buddy who's trapped in that right now.
It's a hard thing, but I'll tell you what, the pandemic snapped me out of that.
Okay. Because
I was working as an esthetician full time before the pandemic, and it's a very hands-on type of career. So, there's no way to really do these, these services without coming into really close, intimate contact with people. There's you can't really wear a mask while you're getting a facial. You can't, this just a very, So, with that being said, I stepped away for a moment. I have my son. I also have my grandmother who's 89. Shout out to my grandmother who just turned 89. Libra, yes. And so I feel like it's my job also to protect them. And so I didn't feel safe being an esthetician during COVID. And I had to, figure it out. And I feel like part of me figuring it out was saying, okay, what am I good at? What do I enjoy? Let me turn that into something real quick. And then I took a chance on myself. So like I said, I've been collecting vintage since 2012, probably before that. But I started with sunglasses. I fell off for a minute because I did go back and start working a 9-to-5, especially in LA. I didn't have time to really pursue my passion like that. And so I kind of put it on the back burner. And then I started selling sunglasses, and they started selling, and then people started sending pictures in them, and I just got this adrenaline rush, and I was like, this is fucking bomb. Like, I just that, like, for me to pick something out and for people to like it so much that they're like, I like it so much that I'm going to send you a picture because I know you're going to post it, and I like, I just like that, and I like posting people and making people feel good and providing them with things that can help them either be more fashion forward or just to pull their look together. So I started with these sunglasses. They were called the Skinny Shade. That was my first item coming back into the vintage game. And I say, well, DVX Vintage started with vintage, but I also have nostalgic, retro-like pieces. So the glasses to me kind of were like reminiscent of the 90s. Like they're, I should have brought some. But anyhow.
I seen them, but I know what you're talking about.
So I started with those. And then I was like, well, what's next? I got to do something else. I can't just sell these glasses. So I was like, I'm going to get some kid shirts. So I got some kid shirts. And I started like distressing them. And I think I sold like 2 shirts. That was it. And I was like, okay. Everybody started asking, like, where are the adult shirts? So I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm going to get some adult shirts. So I got some adult shirts. And they went crazy. And I was like, almost like in tears because I wasn't expecting, like, I was like, okay, maybe a couple people will buy them or whatever, but people showed up for me. Like, and honestly, I appreciate them so much because that's the only reason why I didn't stop, because people were like supporting, and I love people, and I love my people, and the people that, I feel like I'm a people person that's also an introvert. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So yeah, but
shut up.
Is that you too?
But for the what is it, DVX Vintage?
DVX Vintage.
What does that stand for?
So my name is Dominique.
Okay.
I was named after Diane Carroll's character on Dynasty.
I know what you're talking about.
Dominique Devereaux. Mm-hmm. So I started years ago. I was like playing around with the name. First, it was Domoville Vintage, and I was like, well, I know who Domoville is, which is me. But I was like, I don't know. It just was like, something isn't, I don't know. It just wasn't the right name. So I was like, Devereaux. And I was like, well, I can't just rip her name completely, like. And then I searched, and there were some other Devereaux vintages or vintage shops out there. And I was like, okay, but I still like Devereaux. So I just took the the DVX out of Devereaux and put that together because I thought it looked solid as a name. Okay. And then I put vintage because it's still vintage inspired. Even though all the pieces aren't vintage, even though there's a lot of new items, there's still vintage feels to the shop. So that's how the name came about.
Now I like to ask everybody who's an entrepreneur, when you do sell your product, how much of that goes to you?
It varies. It definitely varies. And I'm sure entrepreneurs will also tell you that it takes a long time before you start making money. Mm-hmm. So, the truth. But yeah, so I feel like I'm in this part of my career as an entrepreneur where I am creating a brand. Mm-hmm. And I feel like in that, sometimes you lose money. Sometimes, you put in, sometimes you put in, X amount of dollars, and you may only see this amount of money. But to me, I feel like it's also important that I don't charge astronomical amounts because I know I'm my client. I'm my customer. Yeah. I'm the person that I'm,
selling to.
Exactly. So it's like I look at it like that. Like, what I want to spend $60 on that. Like, I know that it's custom, and I hear people like, oh, you got to raise your prices, and I feel that, and I will. But right now, I'm doing it for the people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to steal everybody's hard-earned money as hard as it is to come about money at this time right now. Like, I'm not, I'm still making some money. I'm still doing cool, from it. So I'm not just selling myself short either. But I'm okay with not just charging people up.
Yeah, I asked that question because a lot of people think it's easy to be an entrepreneur, especially when they think all the revenue goes to you. Yeah, and it's like it's easy to start, but it's hard to stay in it.
Oh, for sure. And a lot of it is trial and error. And some stuff I'm like, I ain't doing that again. You know, like some shirts I get, like, man, nobody's messing with Snoop and Dr. Dre. Nobody. Like, I don't understand. Like, they're dope. Like, but I don't know. So it's all about learning. You know, some stuff I have and I created, and then I'm like, oh, it's not good enough. And then I'll just have a spur of the moment thing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to post it and see if anybody likes it, and it'll sell like that. And it's like, I have to stop. I feel like a lot of people talk themselves out of things before they even, before it comes to fruition. So I try my hardest to be gentle on myself and to just continue to keep the momentum going, even when I have, like, a couple days or something when nobody's even, like, checking out my site. Like, that is... I do all my own analytics. I check everything daily, so.
That's stress on its own.
I had to stop doing that. I put it on a phone at my job, so I can't even look at my stuff.
Man, you got some discipline, because I be checking that thing. They be like, somebody's on your site. I'm like, London. What are you getting? Are you gonna buy something? No.
He used to do it every second.
Yes, bro. And like I said, I put it on the phone, locked up at my job, so I can only see it when I go to work.
Well, good for you, because I couldn't do it. I need to know. On the hour, no, I'm just kidding. But,
I get it, though, because you want to feel like positive feedback. That's all it is.
Definitely. And then I also get to see what people are looking at, And,
oh, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, if everybody's looking at this, like, Tupac and Biggie hoodie, like, I need to get some more of those, like, which they ended up doing really well. But I just try and see what people like. Yeah. So
I think you should make a Power Ranger shirt.
I'm always for the ideas, and that is really dope. I'm always for the ideas. I got you. And it's so crazy. Like, I have in my notes, I keep like, when people ask, like, oh, you should do that. I really take that seriously, and if I can do it, I will. And there's some that I haven't done yet, and if you have asked me for something, I'm going to do it.
He would definitely buy that Power Ranger.
I feel like you're not the only one, so shout out to you, because them shirts are going to go crazy. Yeah.
He definitely would.
Okay,
I had to get off your site because I was going to buy all the Nirvana shirts.
You should.
I will.
Absolutely buy all of them.
Okay. Every last one.
Yes.
You see a lot of orders from me. With you having a kid, I know with the pandemic, you spend it's like way more time now with them.
Oh yeah, for sure. I believe that everything that happened has been really unfortunate for the country, because of course we've lost a lot of people to COVID, and that part I can't even, like, fix my mouth to say, oh, I'm happy that it happened, because I'm not, and our whole lives are different now because of it. But the silver lining, if there is any, there's a sliver of silver lining, and I believe that that's being present, and that's something that I feel like we don't get to be, when we're just, like, hustling and bustling. Like, when I lived in LA, I barely got to see my son. I was working until like 9 p.m. at a salon, and I felt like other people were raising him, and I didn't even really know him. Like, I know him, but it's like I only spend 2 days with him out of the week, and then when I pick him up, he's, like, falling asleep, and then I put him in, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like during this time, I've really got a chance to spend time with him and get to know him, and we have inside jokes, and we, like, we play, and it's just so amazing, like, these little beings that we just sometimes take for granted, just as being, do this and do that and be this. And sometimes just letting them be is the most beautiful thing you could do for them,
That was about to be, I was asked people who have kids, what's your parenting advice?
Don't be hard on yourself, I think that we are all just doing the best that we can, Sometimes we're people. And I feel like a lot of times I give this advice, like, so it starts with your parents. And I feel like we are hard on our parents because they're our parents. But sometimes if you just take them out of the parent category and just put them as Paul or whatever your parent's name is, then you kind of understand them. Like, Paul's just doing what he can, And Paul's not perfect, Yeah. But
we was talking about that a little bit last week.
Yeah.
We talk about that like every week. We just ask parents.
But yeah, so I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But I guess my advice would just be yourself. Don't try and be like this crazy, extra'd out, perfect version of yourself, because it's not realistic, and you're going to crumble, like, if you do that, and it's not authentic. If you just feel like, now I have a kid, I'm going to do a whole switch and I'm just going to be this is who I'm going to be now, then okay, so be it. But if you don't want to get, like, I feel like a lot of people feel like they have to give up who they are to be a parent or when they become a parent, but I don't agree with that. I feel like this is the time to find out who you really are.
Yo, these words are so corny.
Solo, aka No Pull Out Poppy.
Me, Purdy P.
Already know.
This is real radio. We will all be fired.
Coolest language.